welcome back to ASL's Vanguard League. We are in the second match of the night, which is on Expedition Lost. This is the Group B of the round of 16, and in the top right-hand corner of Expedition Lost, we have playing for Brought to Life Gaming. It is the Blue Zerg, Maellic.
And his opponent, down here in the bottom left-hand corner, the Red Templar representing Dust Gaming, Alceister.
Alceister now, is that what you said, or?
I remember having a debate about this last time. I wasn't sure whether it's Alceister or Alceister.
I'm just curious. I'd rather say it correctly because I've always wondered the same. I don't know why I haven't just asked him. I think I asked him at one point, but I forgot.
I'm pretty sure I've asked him, but also forgot.
Right. I thought it was like just a strange accent thing, like Alceister. I don't know if he's from some British thing, you know, some like crazy Brit. I don't know. No. All right. What?
Very insulting.
What?
Very offensive.
Very offensive. You've called me a crazy American at one point.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well, that's not offensive, though. It's cool, I understand. We do see the first Overlord of Maellic being pushed off. Nothing really to hide, but you definitely don't want that Overlord to get into your main or anything. But on the other side of the map, from Alceister, he does go for an SCV scout quite quickly and literally just sees everything. Full scout through the base, spawning pool and gas. I mean, nothing too crazy out of either player. Neither player being aggressive, really just playing standard macro games. The one guarantee probably from Maellic is that he's going to be getting out speed, which is not amazing and not bad on this map, but still good.
Yeah, I mean, pretty nice stuff from both players. Alceister definitely going for... I looked at something and thought it was something else.
Nothing, I was like, as I was saying it's normal, you're like, oh wow, and I'm like, really? What is one player doing? I look up in the production tab, I'm like, it looks normal to me. I don't see any...
it was.
Okay.
I looked at the wrong thing. But yeah, it's pretty normal. After actually deciding to skip the Reaper, though, of course, for that extra bit of SCV, extra bit of mineral income early on. So he's going to have his 2 racks up, going up to kind of 3 racks opening a little bit faster. But of course, if he does, even when he does decide to go for any kind of Hellion Harass, that's going to be a lot weaker. And I mean, if he decides to skip that altogether, some players do that, but it never seems to go that well for them unless the Zerg kind of overcommits to some kind of aggression earlier on. So I don't know. We'll kind of see what Maellic does. If Maellic just kind of goes really heavy on the econ and throws down a third base pretty soon and starts droning, then there will be nothing to punish him at all.
Nothing to punish him, but maybe a little bit of a defense. We do see double queen at the front for Maellic, at least for now. Now, it does look actually like he is going for an early third base, though, sending the drone out. And obviously, maybe no Hellion. We don't see any Hellions out of Alceister, but none of the very early aggression will do much because of the double queen. But that third base is going down, and he lost the initial 4 lanes, which is really kind of not stopping your opponent from attacking, but just delaying their moving out for a little while. But from Alceister, looks like he's going to be pretty aggressive. We see 3 racks, and it will be spotted by Maellic. Double reactor on these 2 also, and stim. This is looking like a very heavy aggression off these 3 racks, like you were saying. But the one thing that's nice is it's not double tech lab, so probably not combat shield to go along with his attack, since stim does take so long.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Alceister's really actually... to be honest, I don't think he's going to be able to move out on the map for a little while without the support of the medevacs or something. If he does move out and Maellic spots it and he gets surrounded, then that's just it. And so I don't entirely agree that it's going to be 100% aggression, but we'll kind of see what he does. But he will be able to pump out quite a lot of bio, and we'll just see what he actually decides to use that for. Maellic, on the other hand, is actually taking a bit more aggressive stance, pumping out quite a lot of lings, and his Bailing Nest is getting close to finished up. So we'll see what he actually ends up using these lings for pretty soon.
I like, instead of going for the earlier aggression, getting that third and then putting on the aggression, because you can obviously you can try to stop your opponent from getting rid of that early third, and then I also just, I mean, any aggression is good in this stance in ZVT, and that's exactly as Terran you want to be doing, is denying your opponent's creep thread, denying your opponent's hatch, but you just can't do that when you have a couple Banelings or Lings in your on your ramp at least. But we do see not actually a move out. I saw the supply depot go down, but just putting it down for just the SCV for now.
Yeah, all good for both players, and kind of, I'd like to see a third base come down for Alceister sometime pretty soon, but if it doesn't, he's going to have to really, really commit to do quite a lot of damage against Maellic. And Maellic is getting towards a very, very comfortable stage in his game where he's almost finished droning up. He's got his Baneling Nest up, his lair's almost done, and he'll feel, in that sort of comfortable Zerg mid game. Where the Terran hasn't quite hit 3-3 and they don't have their huge power spike, and he'll be quite nicely able to defend himself because Alceister hasn't put on any kind of pressure. There's absolutely no kind of pressure on Maellic to do damage because of some kind of greedy econ play, and it's all just a bit. Alceister's kind of playing a bit middle of the road, I think, and he is now moving out with his aggression, but Maellic will spot this as it moves into the Zelnaga Watchtower, and already he actually morphed in some Banelings. So, though they don't have Baneling speed yet, if Maellic takes a nice engagement on his creep, and his creep's,
Yeah, it's actually starting to spread decently.
Yeah, with no Hellions to clear that up either, Maellic's, looking in a good position to take that, and Alceister's, the angle he's moving in at as well. He's at a big risk of actually getting trapped inside this kind of pocket third of Maellic, although obviously he hasn't taken it.
Yeah, and there's not enough medevacs to at least get completely everything out of there. I'd like to point out that Maellic has an amazing control of the map. I mean, with his lings at the third base of Alceister here, and just other positions, he's in such a good position right here on map control. But interestingly enough, Malik's actually going to his main to defend. Maybe thought there was a drop gonna come. No, he can't think there's a drop because he's got the Overlord right there.
No, he knows that Alceister's going to try and come out the rocks, but
it's kind of
taking the engagement. Like, this means that Maellic, he cannot go down that ramp now, not against, fighting into a choke with Terran. He's just going to move forward with a couple of units. And Maellic actually follows him all the way down this choke. And we'll see whether the Banelings are enough. Big splash is going to need to come down on all of Alceister's Marines. But there's just too much. You cannot attack down that choke. And what could have been a fantastic defense from Maellic, he got a bit too aggressive, a bit too over-eager, and now Alceister has so much bio left over, and there's nearly nothing left for Maellic.
Yeah, we do see 30 Lings coming out, and Baneling speed is done, but I don't know if there'll be enough time to actually morph in those Banelings. Now, Lings are working away on these Marines, and I think really right now these Marines should be working on the drones more. They're attempting to focus down this hatch, but they cannot stim at all. And they're not in a great position, but still there's just so many left. As I was saying before, a half-health Marine still the same damage output, and it looks like Maellic actually on move command down this ramp, still a little bit unsure. He can't really get his army for now, but getting some more Banelings in, and he does have Baneling speed, so I think he should be able to clear this up. But at the loss of his main, actually only set to say that it goes up a lot. 20 drones down. 22 drones, wow.
So many drones being lost, the main being lost, the natural still on threat. Actually, the Baneling Nest is going to go down, and I don't think Baneling Speed finished yet.
It did.
Oh, Baneling Speed is finished.
He got it pretty early on.
Saving grace, but still, the Spawning Pool and the Baneling Nest have both gone down, and now with basically his third round of units, Maellic is potentially able to clean up Alceister's forces. But Alceister now has a fantastically defensible position up in the top of the ramp. He's got these tiny chokes that he can defend. And he's got the perfect position.
Yeah.
Moving down, hitting tight back up, and just leaving the Marauders in front means that nothing else can get through really, or if it can, it just kind of comes through in small bunches, and Alceister just picks up. The Mutalisks do come out, but when he gets onto a little safer ground, he can just land these Marines, they can fight the Mutalisks. Now the reinforcements are to come in, a siege tank scanning up, clearing up this creep, and things looking so bad for Maellic. He had it. He had that defense so easily that he could have just stayed up the ramp, stopped Alceister moving up, or he could have come in from behind and trapped Alceister against the wall, but he just got too greedy, too over-eager, and I think overestimated his advantage a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, at least for Maellic, he does have this creep where the army of Alceister is on, but back at Alceister's base, he's got 3 siege tanks fine to defend, and his production is only booming right now with a lot of reactors. 1-1 is already completed for Alceister. 2-2 is not on the way, but 1-1 for Maellic only finishing now, so that entire attack, he did just have a little bit of an upgrade lead. Alceister just taking out as much creep as he can, which is exactly what he needs to. Maellic, now, the one very nice thing for Maellic, though, is he did get the layer layer in the natural, so he did not lose all his tech. He only lost. I mean, he did lose almost all his tech, but he has not lost his late game, his transition that he may make into. But for right now, I mean, he's got to stand mutas and lings and get some damage done, because we see Alceister taking a third and taking not necessarily a secret fourth, but definitely a not orthodox fourth.
I mean, yeah, no, I mean, he couldn't take the fourth that he would ideally want, perhaps, because Alceister was there, but I mean, it's not unheard of for Zerg players to take that.
Oh, no, sorry, I meant for Alceister taking his fourth.
Oh, Alceister? Yeah, definitely. But now another engagement coming down, but the splits are pretty good, but this time, much more open space. So much better engagement for Maellic there. The Mutilator damage as well, and he's going to be able to clean this up. Finally, actually, no, there were some Marines hiding under those medevacs, and Alceister still has a little bit too much left over.
Maellic trying to reinforce with 30 more lings and a couple of mutalisks, but I don't know if it's enough. If Alceister can just stem up here and remove this base, this is all the tech pretty much reset. But beautiful surround by Maellic for now. He could literally just lift up and get out of here, though. 130 army supply for Alceister to only 80 of Maellic. And right now, Alceister moving out, especially with these siege tanks. The army cannot even try to engage. I'd love to see Alceister poke up into this fourth. Right now, he does not know it actually exists, but the creep is just a little enough to let him know that it's there. I don't know if we will see him do that for now. I think he's in a fine position, especially, I mean, 1-1 is here, and he's getting 2-2 on the way, while his opponent can't even start that yet.
Another Mutalist falls in the army supply itself, 85 to 43 in favor of Alceister, and Maellic just morphing in a few more banelings now, but they're never going to see the light of day. Alceister can move forward. The lings are absolutely no threat to this kind of huge bio ball, and he needs to be a little bit careful with all the banelings, but the tank sieging up and paying attention though. Very nice. Some decent hits, but only with the last few banelings, and Alceister still has too much. The medevac cloud in the sky is completely unmanageable, absolutely untouched by Maellic, and Alceister's going to push in towards this third base. And as you said, all the tech is here now. Everything but the Spire in this base, and if it goes down, it's way too much damage for Maellic to come back from.
Oh, the Lings desperately trying to get out of his base and regroup, but they're going by these siege tanks to get down, taken down so fast. We did not see the tech reset, but definitely the layer, sorry, not the layer, the hatchery was reset, still layer in the natural though, and we do see +2 armor trying to come out, but these Lings just barely won't be enough for this small bioforce with so many medevacs here. They're all very low in health though. 30 more Lings on the way, and actually Maellic cancels the long distance mining. He does not want to lose any more
Okay, guys, looks like... yeah, I am luckily joined by Drenat, just a couple of internet issues.
Yay!
Just able to sort out, so... Without further ado, our first player down the one right-hand corner is going to be Red Terran, up 1-0 in this best of 3 to decide who advances on to the winners match. It is from Dust Gaming, Alceister.
Yes, and his opponent currently down 1 game, but valiantly fighting in the first game. Maybe just a little bit of a mistake, and I'm sure he can bring it back. It is the Yellow Zerg playing for Brought to Life Gaming. It is Maellic.
Oh yeah, and I mean, Maellic looked so good in the start of that last game.
Yeah,
I thought he was in a really good position, and then Alceister kind of just moved out and killed him a bit. But This time Alceister's changing up a little bit. Maybe just because of the map. Maybe just because it's best to kind of play a best of 3 series with different builds a little bit. And this time looks like going for a Reaper opening rather than the Gasless that he went for before.
And I mean, who could tell him not to do that on Catalina? Such a good map for any Reaper openings at all. And Maellic not really showing a hint of what he's doing yet. Could just be a little bit of a late spawning pool. And actually going for gas first off of this. This is an interesting decision, I feel like, because you kind of assume Reapers on Catalina, yet no defense is possible up yet. And we do see the Reaper not actually being... Reaper is started now, so interesting game plan for Maellic so far.
Yeah, it's a little bit unusual, but we'll see what he does with it. So far, just starting to get that gas. Looks like it's going to be fast speed. We'll see whether or not he actually keeps on in that gas afterwards. And this little reminiscent of game thing with Neuralisk a little while ago. And this time, Alceister's bringing up that bunker. The Reaper is going to be making its way across the map, and so far Maellic just has no idea it's going to be going on.
Yeah, most important thing here is Maellic literally has no idea. Spawning pool is done now, but that bunker will be up, and a second bunker on the way. Reaper will be in the base. I'd love to see that Reaper just rest for a while, and then just literally retreat back to that bunker, and I think Maellic may have an idea because he does see that second bunker. I mean, he sees the second bunker, but he saw the SCV move. We do see a very valiant save by Maellic, getting down on a Spore Crawler, and he barely does not lose the other one. And so far, nothing's been pulled. We do see 4 lings on the way and 2 queens, but this is looking really dicey for Maellic here.
Yeah, it's looking really, really bad. These lings are so late, and the 2 cancel Spore Crawlers now, but there's already a bunker up there, as unfortunately Maellic is just now finding out. A bunker on the low ground as well, and that Reaper's just going to hop on in there. One for high ground, going to make its way up to the low ground bunker as well to start threatening this hatchery. And I mean, I'm even a little bit surprised to see. Oh no, there's the third Reaper. I thought Alceister wasn't building one because I looked at the production tab and he wasn't. It was just leaving the base.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is so awesome about using Reapers for this is just because they can get up they can just jump up and get into the other one. They do not have to get. Oh, beautiful. They do not have to get kind of caught up between any lings that get in the way. They can do whatever they want. It's third Reaper coming in, and they will just focus down that hatchery. SCVs, actually, Reaper goes into that one and really can't do much. Spinecrawler will get down. Just barely out of range in that Spinecrawler. Oh, actually, is in range of those Reapers, surprisingly. Wow,
yeah,
I didn't think that.
There. But we'll see whether or not that matters. The SCVs are going to get into nice position to repair. But it looks like there's just too many lings being made, and so far they're going to back off. But one thing really nice that Alceister did is he actually rallied both bunkers to each other. So all he had to do was press unload, and they'd kind of just hop to the bunker automatically. So really, really nice there.
Did he get that salvage right there?
No, I don't think he got the salvage.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Maellic? This could be a bit bad, actually. Maellic is running across the map. Alceister might actually have to sacrifice this low ground position, but most importantly, his command center is finished. It's done. He doesn't have to worry about that. He can just lift it up and whatever. He'll lose a supply depot, 2 SCVs in the bunker, but so much more damage has been done to Maellic. Now on 16 workers, and there's just so little going for him. These Reapers need to kind of run away, though. He doesn't really want to lose those. There we go. He's going to take them on out of there. They're going to be useful for the defense later on. They can kite against these speedlings quite nicely, or just, sit up on the ramp. But now Maellic has a choice. Does he try and somehow macro out of it, or does he bailing bust? I think he's going to go for the bust.
I agree also because, lings streaming across the map, obviously you want to be aggressive, but he's going all in. We only see 2 drones built. I mean, there's not much right now. A lot of larva was spent in those lings, which is really going to make him so he just cannot drone up off of this, and all his lings are here. We see a Widow Mine out, though, perfectly placed, and it actually interesting up. I say... Second of the starport was just going for a scout, but Tech Lab on that starport, I'd love to see just 1 Banshee out of that. And maybe not even to attack your opponent, but I mean, you can just work away on these links so quickly. We do see still droning up, though, for Maellic. Now, he does have the Baneling nest down, but nothing in the extractor now. So maybe he is planning on droning up. Actually, we see a layer going down. Really interesting from him.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the top of this ramp for Alceister, it's just so bailing bust proof. There's a double wall in kind of both locations, so really no way he could have busted that without way too much of an investment. And I guess Maellic he smelled that. He saw what was happening with his Overlord a little bit, and how Alceister was making double walls, and so he just went, no, you know what, no, I can't do this. But we'll get a really nice surround here, and we'll see how much damage he can actually get done to the army of Alceister. This will be quite a big win. It'll secure him a lot of time to be safe and start maximing up. And yeah, that's exactly what it does. Very nice, efficient trading there by Maellic, leaving some of his lings to come in from behind, the rest of them to come up the ramp as soon as Alceister moved out for the Overlord. And yeah, a little bit of a magnet, bit of a trap there by Maellic.
Yeah, and interesting from Alceister. Now, he is going to get this natural base. Oh, actually, okay, you cancel it. A double engineering bay, though. And so really, Alceister right here, I feel like... No, I don't know. He definitely got a lot of early damage done, but oh, this is actually going to be really big here. We do see the siege tank down, though, and Ling's actually just pulling back right now. Sent one Ling in to see what he can see. A big wave of drones coming in for Maellic, and I mean, he's just macroing up here. I'm curious to see whether he's going to take a third base to try to make something off of this, but for right now, I mean, Maellic basically has Alceister contained. He cannot move out. If he does, he will lose the siege tank and lose everything, but we do see the natural of Alceister being saturated in 1-1, not on the way, but as soon as the gas gets, then I'm sure we're going to see 1-1. Yeah,
pretty shortly. Maellic, though, at home, as you say, getting that... getting the layer out. Actually, Spire coming in for him, so he's actually just going to, not the 3-base, just going to go for a 2-base Spire. And this could end up working out pretty nicely for him, although Alceister does actually have 2 barracks with reactors on, pumping out Marines, so he's not going to be caught unprepared by this whatsoever. Yeah. There isn't even 2 engineering bays, as you said, with obviously the capability to build missile turrets, and so I don't really see the Mutalisks doing all that much, but they'll be able to encourage Alceister to stay at home very effectively, and buy Maellic the time to macro up and to just kind of play the game his style, play it how he wants to play it, rather than letting Alceister dictate the pace.
Yeah, and Maellic just starting his creep spread and getting his third base down, so Maellic is trying to kind of take control of this game back into his own hands. Right now, Alceister will move out, though, and this would be the time for these Lings to move in, but I don't think they will. I don't think it's actually a great idea, just because there is so much for Alceister right now. But there are no Banelings at home, neither are there Lings. He's been solidly droning. We do see 4 Mutas and 10 Lings coming out, but it's going to be nowhere enough. Maybe some flank. I mean, if right now Maellic could get a little bit of a force out to hit the front of this for Alceister, he could definitely flank it, but literally he has no idea it's coming. Scan goes down, a little bit of an inclination for him from Maellic, and he's pulling all his Lings back. The creep does initially see the initial part of this army. Drones transferring in. Oh, nothing will be killed. Only 10 Lings, though, for Maellic. We're going to see how he's going to deal with this with no Banelings.
Yeah, he's going to morph them in. Oh, but that's not where you want to morph them in the low ground. So a lot of them are going to get taken out here. Only 3 on the high ground really going to finish up. And that's absolutely not enough to deal with Sam, especially not when it has a Widowmine and it has the potential to take out all 3 Banelings easily. And I mean, just a small force from Alceister being sent up to take care of this third base. Very nice. The rest of it is going to be a great contained down at the bottom of Maellic's natural ramp, making sure nothing can get down there.
1-1 is going to be done in about 30 seconds for Alceister. In to boot, not to boot, but in the natural of Alceister, these Mutalisks of Maellic working away on them. Now there's enough Marines here to hopefully push this back, or actually, nope, the medevac will be coming in. But for Maellic right here, the time where he needed to crush this army is when those siege tanks didn't quite siege up, but he decided to pull all his Lings into his natural and get the Banelings. So I feel like he's maybe lost that timing. He does still have these Mutas, though. Oh, but a big Widowmine hitting directly into them. But we do see the Lings of Maellic moving out. Banelings moving in. We'll take out 1 tank. Oh, actually not taking out the tanks. We'll take that tank out and pretty much dissolving the rest of this army. And this is going to be really interesting to see how Alceister is going to push back on this. Obviously did take out that third base, but that was a lot of the army, and especially, I mean, that was a lot of the army and the siege tanks, which is really the big expensive unit that is a part of these bio forces.
Yeah, of course, easily replaced by the Widowmine in a lot of aspects, and even better against those Mutalisks. And we'll see whether Maellic can actually get some stuff done. The Mutalisks come back into the main, and actually still no missile up there, only just being started up. But I mean, just a few Marines even will be more than enough to push this back, especially now combat shields are finishing up. And also, worth noting, Maellic took that engagement just before combat shields. So when the Marines stemmed, they were being one-shot by these Banelings, which is a huge difference. To just 1 Baneling killing 1 Marine, potentially more due to splash rather than 2 Banelings being able to have the same effect.
Second medevac. Oh, he doesn't quite get that second medevac, doesn't see it. He does pick off one, a little bit of a miscalculation, but we do see Alceister trying to hold on to this game, trying to pressure the third, but he really can't right here. He did pull out a lot of he did pull back the entire army except for these mutas, though, and these mutas do have an overseer, so this Widowmine won't do anything to them as long as he pays a little attention. We do see, though, from Maellic, I mean, he's keep droning up. He's really trying to get into this macro game, and I think it's exactly what he wants to do. If he's a little too greedy, he could lose too much in this, while Alceister is completely fine on just muling for his economy.
Yeah, absolutely. Another big Widowman hit on all those Mutalisks. They'll heal it off, but, I mean, the one who's directly hit won't because he's dead. Medevac picked off very nice, even with 2 Marines in it, and that Widowmine taken out great as well. So these Mutalisks have been doing really well actually keeping Alceister contained, but for now, big Bioforce, 2 big Bioforces actually, in the main, and just moving out the natural now. And Maellic, has he droned up enough? I'm not sure. Only at 53, a little bit low. But I think more than enough to actually hold off what Alceister is bringing at him.
I completely agree, but I think Maellic's Lings and Banelings should actually be out on the field right now instead of just hanging back, because what he wants to do with this force is just catch it when those siege tanks aren't siege, and I think he can with the air support of these Mutalisks. I think he definitely can do that, and he knows his attack is coming in. Now, there's not enough medevacs to actually pull up and do a drop in the main because he needs just one medevac. Mutalisk engaged, but not in a good idea. We do see the Lings, and a couple Banelings done now. Not that many Banelings, though, and these Banelings do have centrifugal hooks, so they do have Baneling speed.
Yeah, especially matters on that creep because the speed bonus gets multiplied as well, so yeah, extra speed is always great. And Alceister coming around with the Mutalisk trying to pick off a siege tank or two, but Maellic is being... Sorry, Maellic coming around with the Mutalisk trying to pick off a siege tank or two, but Alceister's being very good at defending those. Does take a little bit of damage on them, and another couple of times there by Maellic is going to be able to pick off a siege tank. And so far, no Mutalisks have gone down, so really nice.
And Maellic will have 1-1 very shortly. He only has about 40 seconds, but for now he will have 1-1. That's going to even up the scores right now for these upgrades, which is helping Alceister just a little bit. One tank very, very low, and we see actually a very, not necessarily concave, but when the force of Alceister moves in, there is a very nice surround that's going to happen. Third base is almost completely up. Now, I don't think there's any fourth base, but for right now, ooh, beautiful Maellic snipes that. And actually, I can move in now, and moving all in. We see Mutalisk coming into the back, but actually on move command, not doing any damage here. We do see all the Marines taken out, though, and siege tank. There's a couple more Marines still here, and one medevac and only 1 health right there. And Maellic's just going to push across the field. There's literally, there's a siege tank, a couple Marines here, but nothing's grouped up right now. Ling's moving in, but no Banelings is the reason. A little worried for him with this initial attack, but the Banelings will arrive just in the nick of time.
Yeah, now the Mutalisks and the Lings cleaning up the Marines very, very nicely. Mutas and Lings together, so much more powerful than either one of them against Marines, and they're going to clean these up very nicely. The last couple of Banelings spending themselves, and it looks like Alceister's not going to be able to take this third base just yet.
And Maellic is 1,000 minerals right now. He could be pushing out a lot more Lings. He does not have the larva for it, but right now, he does push out these just 20 more. 28, what?
Just starts a few.
Yeah, push out those 28 more now. Alceister really, he has a siege tank and now a Thor and some Marines, but he's just gradually being starved out against this Zerg on 3 base and almost 4 base economy. And right now, I hate when my opponent does that, when they just make tons and tons of them, but at some points I've actually played games where you've seen the changelings, but there's so many changelings you can't actually kill them all. You got to keep I played a game where you meant 50 changelings. You couldn't actually kill all of them. It was really annoying.
Lovely. Every other race has some kind of basely guaranteed scouting. So why not?
No, it's just like, all right, I can't click on all these guys fast enough. But yeah, Mutalisk attack on the left-hand flank of Alceister's natural, but a beautifully placed missile turret, actually getting a lot of damage done to one of them, but not quite enough. The entire army of Alceister is out of position, though. Ooh, they will have to pull back. Yeah,
one of those Mutalisks does get finished up, but drop me and load up. Actually, it's just a Thor kind of coming to reinforce that
in a
natural
nice position
and trying to push those Mutalisks away. So it does get a huge hit on those Mutalisks. We'll have to back off a little bit. The +1 ship armor or ship and vehicle armor is going to help out the Thor and the medevacs, but I kind of would prefer to see +2 weapons for the Thor, because +2 weapons on Thors is so strong against Mutalisks. Goes to, I think, 2-shotting them down from 3-shotting them, and God, it's just horrendous to see 2 Thors with an army and a flock of Mutalisks just take 1 hit and 30 of them die or something.
Yeah, and what would really, really help right now to boot or to go off of those upgrades for Alceister is just having 1-1 because he does have 600 gas in the bank because his Marines need to be able to take on 90 Lings right now. That is just so many Lings, and these Marines are only at 1-1. Well, these Lings are also at 1-1.
No, the Marines are at 2-2.
Oh, sorry, no, Marines are at 2-2, but still, I'd love to see the 3-3 come along because he is at 800 gas now. But still, just 90 Lings right here. This is almost the sense of the force where you literally just keep overwhelming.
Yeah, getting pretty close to it, especially just like 1 or 2 Bane nests. But yeah, that Sensor Tower is definitely going to help out Alceister knowing when and if indeed Maellic is moving in. I really like this little force of Lings positioned off to the right. Just to kind of, be ready for a counterattack. Although Alceister is 100% prepared for this. Maellic getting lured a little too far forwards there. Does lose quite a few of those Lings to the siege tank and the combined force, all that bio. Is going to have to back off a little more. But, I mean, Maellic is now in a very comfortable position in this game from what looked like being in a lot of trouble in the early game. He's managed to, kind of flip round the first game where he looked quite strong early on and then just completely lost it. This game looked a little bit weak earlier on with that early pressure from Alceister, and now looking a lot better. But this Baneling and Ling run by is going to try and run past, but kind of getting picked off by these bunkers. Really very little damage being done.
Yeah, and we do see 3-3 finally start. Not finally, but finally it will be started for Alceister here. I would like to point out I love how this sensor tower is positioned. Just because if the army was where it was before, kind of in that main part, it can't really go around the sensor tower. If it goes up into the 2 ramps that are very close, he knows exactly where it is. And if it really wants to take this path, it's got to go all the way back and around if it wants to take the left-hand path into the 3rd base. And to boot, Maellic still has 1 Ling at the 3rd base. I really like that.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice, especially knowing when Alceister just tried to take that 4th base, or what is now his 4th base. And also really fast hive for Maellic, considering like how both players are a little bit delayed due to damage done and taken. So the Ultless Cavern coming in along with 3-3, not too far behind the Terrans. Alceister had a massive upgrade lead for the longest time, but being a little bit late, starting his 2-2 and his 3-3, means that he's almost let the Zerg player catch up on 3-3 as well. And 3-3 is supposed to be the timing where Terran is absolutely dominant and really kind of crushes ZVTs, but once the Zerg player gets 3-3 and gets Ultralisks and starts mixing in 1 or 2 Infestors, it gets so difficult for the Terran player.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult for the Terran player very soon, and I think Maellic may wait out for that. We see some units loaded up into medevacs, though Alceister knows this, but on the right-hand side, or actually, sorry, a little bit of a drop from Maellic's 4th base, or 5th base, actually, nothing will happen, but on the right-hand side, these mutas moving in, and really, for this sensor tower, this is the only position that's weak because of this. The entire front of the army can spot anything, but once these mutas move in, they're going to hit pretty hard, and they can actually just dance around most of these missile turrets. But from Alceister moving out and onto creep, he knows Maellic knows exactly where the army is, and all his units at the 4th base, interestingly enough, but still a drop in the main. This is really kind of tearing Alceister's army apart, or sorry, tearing Maellic apart.
Yeah, definitely kind of breaking him up, and this drop in the main is going to be cleaned up without too much trouble by all these Lings. The Mutants come back, they can even try and clean up the medevac, but they're still kind of hanging out, threatening the counterattack. But this gives Alceister time to head on onto this creep, further and further, clearing it all up and getting to good position. And Ultbliss gets picked off as well from a bad rally point. And Maellic's going to try and engage up a ramp again, but there's Thors in the front. A load of Banelings getting away from Thors. But Ultbliss coming from behind, and there's enough. The flank was way too much there, right at the end for Maellic. Completely cleans up that army. And yeah, with 3 Ultbliss left over, Alceister is way down in army supply, and he's going to have to make some kind of great defense.
Yeah, for a moment there, I actually thought Alceister was going to win, but those Ultralisks coming in on a very nice ankle did it all. But Alceister will see this attack coming in, and he may be able to prepare. Actually, still only 1 bunker. We do see a lot of SCVs pulled, and he's going to need them, especially there's not that many medevacs here. Actually, they're just enough for this, but I don't even know if Stutter Step will be enough. So many Mutalisks are getting rid of these Marines. Just so much area of effect damage. We do see right now, though, Maellic will have to pull back because of these Thors. But, I mean, he's looking really strong with so many Ultralisks. 5 more on the way. And we also see Ultralisk upgrades. We also see these Ultralisks. Okay, it has finished. They're now at 5-3. These Ultralisks are going to be incredibly hard to deal with, especially with very little Marauder production. As I say that, he actually is making a lot more tech labs. But for a while, there was only 1 tech lab on the barracks.
Yeah, I mean, still only 2 tech labs. There's really not enough to deal with this quantity of Ultralisks. 2 on the way, 7 already out. I mean, that's going to be a lot of Ultlists, and anytime Alceister gets kind of locked down, can't kite away from those Ultlists as well, he's going to be in so much trouble. The Mutalisks, a little bit dicey for them against Thors, but it's going to be so difficult for Alceister to actually push up this ramp against all the Ultlists, the meat grinder here. Although 4 Thors, they deal with Ultlists pretty nicely.
What's scary right now for Maellic is he only killed a couple workers right there, and the 4th base is still there, but the one saving grace, or not the one saving grace, but the one big thing is Maellic has been on 4 to 5 bases for probably 10 minutes, while his opponent Alceister has been on 3, and really only been on 2 because he actually really only been on 1 because he's mined out the first is natural. So right now he's really starving for minerals, but at the same time what's really interesting is it's been so aggressive that Maellic literally doesn't have any bank at all, which you hardly ever see in late games like this.
Yeah, it's I mean, he's just remaxed on 10 Mutalisks as well, so that's where a lot of that's gone. And going up to 26 Mutalisks is going to be pretty scary for us. Actually, a little less than 26. I kind of some finished up halfway through my counting. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be quite a nice force in Mutalisks. But with 4 Thors in the army and still several Marines, the Mutalisk is going to be next to useless in head-on engagement. I think Maellic really needs to be planting them over middle lines or something as he takes engagement with his Ultlist. But right now, Maellic is actually just getting in on top of Alceister's last remaining mine base, or almost his last remaining mine base, and smashing through these bunkers that provided so much defense earlier on. The SCVs will no contest to Ultlists, and going into a little bit of a base trade situation, Maellic is going to have to turn around to deal with Alceister's army at some point, because you don't base trade Terran.
Yeah. At the same time, the 4th base, or technically the 5th base of Maellic does go down. Alceister, I'd love to see a scan to remove this creep, because right now this is really what is saving Maellic, at least maybe because he just has so much creep. He sees where the army is and can get his units so much faster there. We see 18 Lings and 3 more Ultralisks on the way, but the Ultralisks are so slow here. It looks like Alceister may push back those meters, which need to attack with this army. Ultralisks engaged in the front. 1 Thor goes down, a 2nd Thor goes down, but a lot of stims and a lot of medevacs here. They will only 1 Ultralisk left, and they're going away. They're going ham on these Mutalisks, but there's a lot of Marauders here, not that many Marines. These Marauders need to get out with these medevacs, because this is what Alceister needs to make his army so good, because he cannot remax as quickly, only 7 Marines at a time. Out of Maellic, he does make 30 Lings.
Yeah, and the bunch link is going to be so good. The Mutalisks just enough to kill off all the Marines, and then, as you said, nothing but Marauders. Marauders can't shoot up. They just don't do it. And no, here we go though. Maellic overextends just a little bit, loses a couple of Mutalisks for his trouble, but things have stabilized a little more. However, Maellic he's lost his hive. The base itself isn't that important, but the hive, if the Ultlist cover goes down, if anything else goes down, it's going to be really, really tough to rebuild it. So he is trying to tech back up via that lair, and yeah, we'll see if he can manage to do it. But again, I feel like Maellic was just a little bit too eager to engage up that ramp.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on that. He took a lot of damage right there, but this is exactly what Alceister needs to be doing, getting a little bit of damage done and taking an extra base. He's been starved on minerals for so long, it looks like he's actually going to go for a drop. Now, he's got to be so careful because these, at least the medevacs are so low in the main, but only two going into there, but it looks like Maellic may be prepared for this because he knows he cannot lose his tech right here. Alceister will move in, but I mean, it's completely spotted right there. Marines, Banelings move in, but actually before the majority of the units out, he may be able to get rid of these Banelings for now, and he's got a little bit of control right there. We do see, though, Alceister moving to the left-hand side, the hatch only now being remade, and the entire army out of position for Maellic. It's going to have to move in, but I'm a little bit worried because there's not that many Marines with this army. That's really the saving, that's really what has to complement these units. Instead of it being Protoss where you need those Colossus, this is Marauder, Mothership Corps, Thor. He needs those are his special units that he needs, and the Marines are just the meat shield.
Yeah, a little bit, and so many Banelings just not quite finishing up. Some of them do. But yeah, I mean, now great defensive position up this ramp for Alceister. Maellic really can't afford to engage up here, but Baneling's being wasted on that Thor as well. He just has to stay away from it, not let it kind of draw his units in. And yeah, we'll see the Mutalisks being added on of what Maellic's missing now. He's missing some kind of way to be applying the air pressure to Alceister while this is going on, to be shutting down this drop that's making his way into his main base. Just that kind of huge mobility, and Ushas are so good at clearing up Terran forces once a couple of Thors and some of the Marines have been being kicked out, and now this is a really, really threatening drop. All the
getting rid of Overlords too.
Maellic is actually moving his entire army up here to deal with this, and this gives Alceister free reign to move forward, pick off an Ultalisk, pick off the Extractor, and just get a defensive position set up at the bottom of Maellic's natural, where all units are. But actually, Alceister's going to move back a little bit more cautious. Doesn't quite want to. I mean, those Ultalisks are still really threatening.
Yeah, those Ultalisks are so threatening. He did not get the tech he wanted to. Almost got the hatch there with those Marines. But right now, with the amount of Marines and Thors, these mutas aren't going to be able to do that much damage, but there's going to have some great micro. Now, what I'm really not liking is, since Alceister was so low on economy the whole time, he had to be using the mules, and he has literally 0 scans, so this creep has just been gradually growing, and I mean, he literally, okay, there is 1 scan right there, I mean, but he needs to stop removing this creep because of how low, I mean, his economy has been, or sorry, just of how his engagements have been taken all on creep, and with so many Marines, Banelings just rip through them on creep.
Yeah, absolutely. Not to mention the fact that there's still Ultalists in the army, and in the production tab, 11 Marines. No Marauders, no Thors. There's nothing to deal with those Ultalists. The Marines, like, they're just not enough against 6 armor Ultalisks. Yeah. And, yeah, these the Mutalisks coming in with the Lings are going to be able to clean up this drop pretty nicely. Actually, I don't know about that. 3-3 Marines do pretty nicely. In big engagement in the center, though, and
one beautiful siege tank.
Just filtering through, and a lot of the bangers go off on Thors and Marauders, and the Marines and the rest of the Marauders left over are just too much. Maellic does have to back off, but another load of Banelings going to roll in, and these should be enough. But again, so many going off on that Thor, but they get the connections they need in the end, and he will rout Alceister finally from this mid-map location.
Yeah, and all these medevacs are so low on health, these Mutalisks actually may snipe them. Oh, 2 barely getting away up there. The Queens actually might clean them up. But Maellic actually decided he can't push into this. Or not even the Remax, but just the line of units coming out for Alceister is a little too much right now. But I'm still so surprised how low economy Alceister has been going off of. He literally only has 5 barracks. I mean, he has, or actually, sorry, 7 barracks as I say that. But, I mean, still, just, he's been so low on economy, so much muling to stay in this game, and he's barely doing it. But over and over again, the engagements are so good for Maellic. I mean, there hasn't been a couple he's thrown, but the engagements are so good, especially on creep. And as I was saying, Alceister cannot spare anything, any scans, anything to be able to do that with. And we do see, though, finally Maellic's just his huge economy is paying off, as I was saying earlier. Why doesn't he have a bank? He does have a bank now of so many minerals, but we do see from Alceister so much gas, which is really what he needs to be really careful to, because that's what's getting his Marauders to get rid of those Ultralisks. That's what's getting his Thors to be able to get rid of those Mutalisks.
Yeah, and Maellic now spreading out all over the top of the map. Alceister still just in that kind of bottom quarter, whereas Maellic has pretty much the entire rest of the map. But the army right now, I think, is a little better for Alceister, especially with that very, very weak Ultralist getting taken out.
And no Banelings, actually.
We're going to see some Ultra Broodlord action, and this is going to be so, so sick. Broodlords are like it's the final piece of the puzzle if you can get them going in super late game TVZ, where you can actually start sieging up the Terran and really breaking their siege lines. But Doom drop into the main Alceister, he's going to try. The thing is, there's so little left in here. There's a Baneling less than the Speedling, the spawning pool, but yeah, he's rebuilt those because he knows, like, they're critical structures and they're off creep. They're going to die eventually.
A little bit of a force for Alceister, actually taking out a position at a tank. And just to boot, even though he can take out this tech, I mean, he can't, it's not like he can go somewhere else from here. He just has to pick up and leave. That's the only option. There's no other option to kill stuff. And, maybe not a good position, but yeah, he gets everything up. Muta's coming in, though. A lot of these medevacs are very low in health. These Mutas won't quite get them. And just to also point that Alceister has no idea about these bases in the top right-hand corner. Now, I think he doesn't think his opponent's on that. I feel like he thinks it's a waiting game. Just gradually will kill his opponent, but he cannot do that. He needs to get some aggression in these top bases. It is 67 workers for Maellic to the only 35 of Alceister.
Yeah, and now Maellic moving across with some Lings to the right-hand side of the map where Alceister is trying to take his expansion. Planetary Fort's going down, but I'm not sure it's going to complete, not with all these Lings wailing away at it. Alceister's army is way out of position to deal with this, has to cancel it and left, and some Mules going down, some SCVs going down. These are things Alceister really can't afford to be losing at this kind of stage in the game.
Yeah, he cannot lose that right there. Into boot on the left-hand side, Maellic moving in. Tons of speedlings. All there is here is the missile turrets. If he just pulled back the meters, I think he can take the base on its own. He will move these meters in, actually losing one, almost a second one. And actually may lose a couple more here. Ultralisk not engaging, and the Ling's not quite, not a lot of service area on a missile turret. But Alceister trying to get back into there, and he will spot these Broodlords perfectly. And nicely placed Widowmine, and Mule actually very nice to heal that orbital command. And we're going to see this maybe the final engagement here. Banling's moving in. All these units of Alceister are clumped up, though. No split so far. Moving down this ramp and not very good. A very nice Widowmine shot does go off, but I don't think it's going to be enough. We see these Marines. No Banlings left. Marines desperately working on these Ultralisks, but these Ultralisks getting so much damage, and actually Maellic is going to have to pull back, but Alceister barely. So many Marines, and a lot of these medevacs are very low, and these medevacs, they are the saving grace of this army, but this army right here just barely holding on for now, but so
Has he
low.
Done it? He's getting underneath the Broodlords. He can actually start focusing them down. Two Broodlords, three Broodlords go down, and Alceister, somehow, he manages to push that army away, but he loses a crucial base. One of two mining bases he's got. Two full mining bases he's got right now. The other one, he's got a Mule and an SCV at it, and that was such a big loss. He did save the All Command, though, which was absolutely crucial. But Maellic, he can afford to make another army. Alceister can't. Looking at the income, 400, 600 income for Alceister, whereas Maellic is sitting at vastly above that, 1,300. And the gas income's a similar disparity, and Maellic is he's efficiently using all his workers all over the map, and Alceister is he's got scraps of minerals he's mining from at different bases. 8 workers mining one mineral patch. He's going to transfer them over, though.
Yeah, right now Maellic literally on 3 bays with a 40 drone lead. He did kill a lot of that army, but the Ultralisks coming in, even if he'd killed all those Broodlords, all he had was Marines. He does not have any gas, and actually, as I said, I get a little bit, but I mean, he only has a couple gas here. He cannot afford Marauders. He's actually deciding to make Widowmines kind of back to the early game tech, and it's getting really close to the end for one of these players. Alceister stimming out. A little bit of aggressive position. He's got to be so careful with these medevacs. He cannot afford to replenish them. Ultralisks flanking on the left-hand side will actually look to take out this Thor. Actually bypassing the Thor, only going for the Marines. We'll take out that Thor eventually. And Marines stimming, but they're so low on health here. These Ultralisks will get in and do so much damage. Marines finally, I mean, they're going around a circle. I don't think they can do this. They will be put up in these medevacs. Mutalisks have been killed, but the Broodlords are here, and they're starting to do some damage, getting rid of that one Widow mine. And I mean, this one mining base, even with the planetary fortress, I don't know if it's going to make it.
But those were just Lings being traded off by Maellic for so many of Alceister's Marines. And minerals are really important for Alceister. Minerals throughout the game important for Terran. Now, Maellic has so much mineral income, and so many more of the Marines will get cleaned up there. Nice lift up is going to save some of them. But, I mean, just in terms of income, Alceister's actually stabilizing a little bit with the Mule Hammer at this base. But it is basically this base and this base alone. The only base that isn't starting to show some kind of signs of wear, and now Maellic is seizing up. The Broodlord's getting in. Almost all the Marines have gone down. Just a handful left in one medevac, and that planetary fortress is gone. GG! Hello, Dranak. You've just come back as we've gone live. Excellent timing there. So, to kick things off, both players are all playing out pretty normal. They were just getting warmed up last game for an even better game this game, and the victor of our previous game. Falling in this time on Overgrowth from Back to Life, it is the Blue Zerg player, Maellic.
And his opponent in the top right-hand corner, taking game 1 but losing in the 47-minute long game 2. Representing Dust Gaming, it is the Red Terran, Alceister. I'm excited to see what these players are going to do in this second game, but to start it off, I mean, Alceister playing pretty defensively, actually. Getting out the Marine early on, and as I say that, actually I'm going to say, he's playing pretty defensively. Getting his orbital up, nothing too crazy, and I assume he's just going to go for the expand. Yeah, he's got the SCV there, too.
Yeah, looking pretty normal for him there. Maellic, he's getting his pool towards finished up. Relatively fast gas. So, I mean, I don't think it's fast enough to actually put on any speeding pressure to this expansion, but Alceister's actually lifting up his barracks to try and snipe this Overlord. This is a neat little trick here. Always very annoying when trying to do this, but of course does really cut into that barracks production time. But I guess Alceister's not actually really using it for anything else with that fast orbital command. But I mean, at
pretty
this
nice
stage,
stutter stepping.
Yeah, pretty good. At this stage, like, is he saving up for another command center? Is he going that greedy? I think he must be.
I mean, that's what you do.
No, 2 more racks. Okay.
No, okay.
So he was just a tiny bit late on them.
Like, man, this guy's got some cojones of steel, as some people say. We see speed being started from Maellic. Now, against this opening, this is the for Alceister, this is the opening he did in game 1. No, I'm thinking different. No, he did this in game 1, right?
Who, Maellic?
Yeah. No, Alceister.
Alceister?
3 racks in game 1, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So, I mean, pretty much kind of doing what I did in this game 1, while Maellic is actually doing almost the same. So, I feel like both players probably aren't going to be aggressive for a little while. We do see speed coming out of Maellic, but I don't think that's for aggression. I think that's more of defensive. And for Alceister, I mean, he's got a nice wall, especially with a Barracks. You're not going to see Baneling busts through that.
No, not through that bit anyway. And I don't think Baneling busts are anything on the roster for Maellic.
Me neither.
But as I said in the first game, Expedition Lost is a little bit of a turn-favored map, maybe, or so I've heard. So
yeah, it is actually a Terran-favored map, I believe.
Yeah. So it's not too surprising that Maellic lost there, maybe. More surprising to me that he won on Catalina, certainly. But Overgrowth, much more balanced, and Maellic really nicely taking his hatch just a little bit early. Usually that's taken as speed finishes up or just before, but taking it just a tiny tad before. And I think, to be honest, he could be getting away with it even earlier. If he's, depending on how good his scouting is, whether or not he's actually cottoning on to the fact that there's no factory or a late factory being built for Alceister. Yeah, he could be taking this a lot earlier, given the lack of Hellion aggression and anything towards the third base. But then again, he'll still be fine to just drone up pretty hard, and there's no kind of aggression that Alceister will be able to put on, as we saw in game 1, until much later on. And Maellic, he had the tools to crush that aggression in game 1. He just engaged badly, and it's much more difficult to take a bad engagement Overgrowth than it is an Expedition Lost.
Very nice Overlord Scouts. Actually, I think he's going to see everything, but I was going to say maybe the fact that he's not seeing anything move out was kind of what he was being scared about, not going for such early, but I think he's okay with this. He looks fine how he is, and he has amazing map control at the moment. Both Zelnagas and some Overlords, and this Overlord literally is going to get an entirely full scout, I think. I will veer off, but it still sees the starport, sees the reactor, and are they going to factories? Are they going to change? No, they decide not to. Actually, just pushing up. I wonder if there's a little bit of a mind game right there, not actually landing.
I don't know. A little bit interesting. Maybe. But so far, yeah. I mean, I said there wasn't going to be any kind of Hellion aggression or anything, and it would be pretty similar push out from Alceister as to game 1. But he's mixing things up a little bit. I think we're going to see a much bigger push out with Hellbats this time incorporated into it. The Armory just finishing up. Hellion's being started, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see what eventually Alceister does put out with, but I think there's going to be like at least 2 medevacs with it before he actually moves out, though. We'll see. Yeah,
I think this is much better than game, or I don't remember which game, but one of the games he had to move out similar to this. I think it was game 1. No. This was in game 2, but he just had no medevac in the very beginning of it. So I think it's a much wiser to move out with the medevacs versus the Zerg style, and just this Baneling style straight up, because you do have that. And to boot, right now he is starting to move out. He has got stim and +1 weapons, and then +1 vehicle weapons. So this is going to be a very strong push. But what's amazing for Maellic right now is he's already got a beautiful creep spread started, and he won't. I mean, he's not going to spot it super early, but he's going to have a little bit of a notion of it. And, I mean, on the right-hand side right there, we have how many creep tumors? We have like 8 creep tumors we can put down.
I think they're going to get cleaned up, and that'll be a bit painful. But right now, the Banelings aren't here for Maellic, and that's the key component. 4 Hellbats is not a huge number, but it's more than enough to roast away these Lings very, very nicely. And
Queen's got to be careful.
Try and take them out. But actually, if Maellic's... no, not quite. I think there was a moment there he could have dived on the Hellbats and tried to kind of pounce on them, but right now, this actually is hatchery is under threat. If Maellic can, if Alceister can focus that down, do a lot of damage there. But now, Maellic's coming in from both sides with the Lings, but they're just getting completely cleared up. The Banelings morphing in. Where are they morphing in? Is it
19 just behind the third base?
Just finished. But there's no Ling support for them. If Alceister just splits, he'll be fine. Yeah.
Oh.
Without the link support or anything to clean them up, but 36 just about finished, should be enough. However, it's too late. The third base is gone.
Third base gone, plus 2 spine crawlers were not canceled, and I mean, even if they got done, there was only 1 transfuse for all of those queens. And did he actually lose all of those queens? He has 0 queens right now.
Oh my god, that's so bad as well.
0 queens right now. This is not looking good for Maellic. No transfuses for either of these spine crawlers. Lings engage with, before the banelings actually get out. And they will clean up a lot of this. They will clean up a lot of it, but not all of it. Ooh, this is looking so scary for Maellic right now.
Yeah, and stimming and kiting away from those banelings, just keeping away from them, and absolutely, Maellic is in some serious trouble. Another Hellion meeting up can morph into a Hellbat, but a lot of these medevacs are starting to run out of energy. And I guess, like, the one bright spot for Maellic in all of this is those, like, 5 active creep units weren't cleared up. Now it looks like he's got enough army to actually clean this up. Big surround, and the banelings burst in and are going to finally push this away. However, Alceister, taking his third base here, still got enough to actually defend as he meets up with his reinforcements, and Maellic, his production crippled with the loss of those queens. His economy taken a huge hit with the loss of that third base, and especially on Lingbane Muta, that lava is so important to have. You cannot get away with losing that many queens, losing all your queens. And Alceister, not done with the pressure, double Hellbat drop moving out.
Yeah, the drop spotted. Now, the thing for Maellic is, because his larva is just crippled, he cannot attack, and he also can't attack because Alceister's been constantly producing 2 Hellions at a time. So we do see these Hellbat drop on the left-hand side, but just, I mean, Hellbats are also on this right-hand side. Oh, Overlord actually will get out, does have Overlord speed, but actually maybe taken out. But, I mean, there's so few Lings and so many Hellions, or at least Hellbats, they do so much damage. The drop in the main will go down. 4 Hellbats here will work down on that Queen. Queen going down, third base also being cancelled.
They've got a really good position in the middle line here as well. The Banelings are going to be able to take them out eventually, but not before so many of the things go down. The third base goes down again, and a load of Banelings bursting against those Marauders. The Hellbats just behind them, doing tons and tons of damage and tanking away that Spine Crawler as it goes down. And now the 1-1 upgrade, the 2-2 upgrades even for Maellic might well be cancelled here, and that'll be such a big hit. That's Zerg's advantage, is the upgrade advantage in that early, early mid-game versus Terran, and it's going to be so tough here for Maellic to hold on again.
Yeah, Maellic
and even just the reinforcements.
Yeah, Maellic trying to pump out 6 mutants, but I don't even know if that is enough. We do see a Widowmine even along with this. So many Marines, plus Stim, and enough medevacs to actually complement that so they don't die. Marines actually being super aggressive going to the middle line.
Mana Mule.
Mana Mule goes down. Does that Mule do? Yep, just hanging out right there.
Well, Alceister dances his army and just tearing through it. The Baneliness goes down from Maellic as well, and he is reduced to 1 base mining. Still not quite mined out yet, and a ton of Banelings in his main. But Alceister, across the map, has to actually deal with the threat of these Mutalisks. This is what Maellic's got kind of brought him back from the brink every other game, is this Mutalist control, this Mutalist harass. But, I mean, he's way over the brink right now. He is hanging on to a sapling halfway down the cliff. And Alceister doesn't even need to split. The Banelings barrage
wait a second.
But now they meet the Marauders, and there's just not enough to take them out. Alceister has more Marines than there are Lings, or more bio than there are Lings at any rate, and he is pummeling away at Maellic.
More bio than there are Harvesters.
Yeah, absolutely, and GG.